Hi there, I'm Dr. Kathleen Young, board certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. And I want to talk about communication differences in autism spectrum disorder. And again, I tend to focus more on the less obvious presentations of autism because I think we get so locked into seeing autism in a certain way that we miss what's going on with some other people. And so in one of the previous videos, I talked about detail focused processing and reciprocity. And so what I want to talk about today is sometimes communication with people on the spectrum can be difficult because they don't give enough information. They may not give the context of what they're talking about. So they just have a non sequitur where they just start talking about something and assume you know what they mean. They may have a hard time talking about how they feel. They may not know how they feel and then have a hard time talking about how they feel. I hear this from parents a lot. They don't really know what's going on with their kid, and their kid can't really tell them what's going on. I think there's a similar frustration with parents at times that they feel like their kid gives them one word answers or vague answers with absent detail. And I think sometimes people just chalk that up as this is just the way they are. And that's true. That is just the way your kid is. But it may indicate that there's reason to investigate a little bit further into what is happening with your kids so that you can better support them. Like, that's really kind of the point. Is I'm not just digging around for autism spectrum just to do it, but I think sometimes when we know what's going on, we can better support our kids or the people around us, or if you are a person on the spectrum, to kind of understand what the issues are that you are struggling with and kind of anticipate them and problem solve for them. So there's this lack of detail or difficulty maintaining a relationship. I think as a psychiatrist, I can look back on my practice and there are people I've known for years who come in, they answer all the questions, but I always feel like I can't connect with them, or they just give me very minimal information, so that's hard to really get a full picture about what's going on with them emotionally. And I think that's this difficulty sort of communicating what's going on in their internal world or organizing their thoughts to be able to get them out. I think that's why sometimes it's hard for people to write papers. And sometimes they just don't know how they feel. I think as little kids, I'll have parents say, like, my kid doesn't seem to be interested in anything. And I experienced this as a parent of a child on the spectrum, where my kid doesn't always seem to be interested in anything. And I think that's that. Sometimes they're very interested. Sometimes they're like not interested. And so they have a hard time. I think that is, sometimes it's hard to find things they're interested in, but also I think sometimes it's hard to find things that are hard for them to talk about how they feel. So that's another communication issue that I wanted, or difference that I wanted to bring your attention to.